we're both Florida alumni, so these shirts are giving us rashes. But well, we can't be biased on the show here. Florida got its own review earlier, so I mean the box score to me was way closer than this game actually was. Welcome to Saturday versus Sunday. I'm John Barbin. With me is Jeff Dover. Let's talk football.
We're a couple of average football fans that watch college and the NFL. We hope to earn your like and subscribe today. This is our review of the Miami-Florida State game. What are your initial thoughts?
I mean, I think the U is back.
Yeah, I think that having the game, both ranked teams, when Miami and Florida State are both ranked, playing at one of their places with a great atmosphere, like this is how this game should be. And it's hard for me to say because I'm from Florida and it went to UF, but like this game is, I was pretty pumped to watch this game, which I haven't been for some time.
Yeah, we're both Florida alumni, so these shirts are giving us rashes. But well, we can't be biased on the show here. Florida got its own review earlier, so I mean the box score to me was way closer than this game actually was. If you look at it,
yeah,
and I think that's because So they go into the fourth quarter. Miami's up 28-3 going into the fourth quarter. And in that sort of desperation to get back into it, half of Florida State's 200 of Florida State's yards are just in the fourth quarter trying to come back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this was a complete dominant performance for the first three quarters. And that's more what the game actually looked like was the first three quarters, not this, Miami goes into a defensive shell and just is just bleeding clock basically for the whole fourth quarter. I also don't like that type of coaching decision to take your foot off the gas kind of there and not still attack all the way through the fourth quarter.
Yeah. No, and they had the Miami only ran for 97 yards, but like their running backs had like 40 and 19 or something like that. Which was barely enough to keep the defense honest, but it was because they ran just enough to make the passing, work. And Carson Beck was really good. He had an amazing game. He was 20 for 27, 241 yards, 4 TDs. Their Florida State was selling out to stop the run. And so the passing was open and Miami took advantage of that. And that's why they went to 28-3. But you're right. It's all those yards or the note I had written here is that FSU, like I love the Gus Malzahn offense, but the FSU offense is not built to come back from something like this. Like they're better at having the lead, running the ball, staying ahead of the schedule, like going, 1st and 10, 2nd and 7, 3rd and 3. And whenever they get a penalty, whenever it's like 1st and 15 or 2nd and 20, like they're just not built to offset that. That's why for 3 quarters, they were always like that. They were behind the sticks and it was really made it like more of a blowout than it was.
Well, you don't want Castellanos in this offense passing for attempting 45 passes.
That's crazy number. That's a crazy number.
No, and Beck was super efficient, 20 for 27, 240, 4 TDs. Yeah, you made them one-dimensional, and they're like, fine, we'll take that one dimension and we'll shred you. And that's exactly what they did. Malachi Tony. My notes, it just says equals Percy Harvin.
Yeah, he's good.
That's what he reminds me of.
Yeah.
And he looks like no matter where he is on the field, if you get the ball in his hands, he could go. It could be a sweep. It could be just a screen pass or what was happening here, stuff down the field. As soon as he touches the ball and it looks like the guy covering him is right there and he'll catch it and tackle him. Yeah. And then 2 steps later, he can't catch him. It's over. And he's gone.
Yeah. No, it's a good comparison to Percy Harvin. What Percy Harvin always reminded me is that when he's so fast with the ball, like, and because not everyone has that. Not everyone has sort of straight line speed. You can sprint fast without the ball or when you're trying to catch something, but he's just with the ball. He's so much faster. So yeah, no, he was really good. He was probably the best player in the field. So, but yeah, and it's really like, that's the Miami defended Florida State really well. Like that forced them to be in a position to do the things they're not comfortable with, so because they never really it was a bit of a rock fight. It felt like at some points, like where neither team could really run the ball well and they're both still trying to, but then it was Miami's passing game is what the difference was.
Right. You kind of, both teams force the other team into more of a pass-heavy game, but one of these teams can do it, and the other one can't. And not to take anything away from CJ Daniels. He went for 78 yards and 2 TDs as well. So, I mean, they've got 2 legitimate receiving weapons and one of them looks like it's going to be one of the best players in the country in Tony. And you've got a Beck who can do it. Like, this is the Beck they thought they were getting.
Yes.
He seems to be recovered from the injury. He was dropping it in the bucket on those long passes, like right in stride. It was just, I mean, it's so clear you have a quarterback who can do it on Miami, and you have one that is just not capable of doing that with enough consistency on Florida State. And then he threw the picks that killed the game. So it's just, they both made each other somewhat one-dimensional, but Miami is a two-dimensional team. It doesn't matter which dimension you force them to play in; they can beat you with that dimension.
Well, and Miami's 5-0 now, and games left are like Stanford, Syracuse, Virginia Tech. Like, they're going to be heavily favored in pretty much they don't play a ranked team again. So it's going to be hard pressed. If they play like this, it's going to be hard pressed for them not to go undefeated.
Yeah, I was going to say they've made it through the tough part of their schedule, right?
Yes.
So it's okay. So dwelling on Miami for a second here. Last week I put up a thing saying, or a couple of weeks ago I put up a thing saying the U is back. Actually, when they beat Florida, right? And some people were, let's not anoint them yet. They haven't got anywhere yet. But hang on, let's actually review. To your point, they've beat Notre Dame, they beat the Gators, who've now just beat Texas, and now they've beat the Seminoles. Those are the toughest teams on their schedule.
And they beat a ranked South Florida team at the time too, right? So that was, that's not nothing.
Well, yeah. South Florida is playing well. Their only loss is Miami. So, okay, what's left? Like, to your point, there's nothing left on. They're going to be favored in every game. They probably were going to be anyways. But
like some of them will be tough. Louisville will be a tough game at SMU is like tough. But I mean, they're not ranked. Like, they're not ranked right now. And Miami's going to be ranked number 3. I mean, they should be favored in those games.
You think they could go up any higher? Maybe to number 2?
I don't know. That's a good. I mean, I think it's hard to when you don't play ranked teams. Like, I think
no. I mean, after today, this one.
I don't know. I don't.
I'm trying to think. I don't even know who's. Is Oregon 2 right now? Maybe Oregon's 2 right now.
Yeah, or it's Ohio State's 1, Oregon's 2, and I don't know if that's going to change. Ole Miss could even get some votes too. So
yeah. Well, either way, the point is what we would have guessed are the toughest games on their schedule. They've beat them all, and I mean, Notre Dame was the closest of those games, which I almost didn't expect. And even though this was the final score here, 28-22, it wasn't. We're 28-3 going in the fourth quarter. This was a beatdown.
Yeah, that was the thing. If I'm a Miami fan, that part drives me bananas. Like, when you go to the prevent defense and the zero risk on offense of just running it when like there's 8 people in the box and you're like, yeah, we're just going to run it because we're trying to take the time off. But it gets stopped so fast and they allow so many yards to happen, and they keep everything in front of them, which I understand. But there's something to momentum. There's something to momentum in college football. And once you give that Castellanos, like, we've got like 3 receptions in a row, like, you get confidence and you can start slinging around and you're like, oh, we can move the ball on them, which I just don't understand why I get it, just the amount of time they have to score, like, that's why you're doing it. But it's as a Miami fan, it's super frustrating to go in the fourth quarter up 28-3 and then see them run up and down the field and make it 28-22.
Well, FSU had 199 yards in the first 3 quarters and 203 in the fourth.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But the 203 in the fourth are more by design of Miami's.
Yes.
Right. To your point, Miami's defense. And the other thing you could say there is they were so far ahead, they could afford to do that. They could afford to just sit in a shell. And then they still won by 6 points. It was, it's.
Yeah. On offense and defense, right? Like, you take zero risk on offense because you're just trying to, you're choosing to take like the 40 or 50 seconds to like run 3 plays, run 3 times for no gain, to give it back to them, and then keep everything in front of them so that they have to take time off the clock to get their drive. Like, I understand that, but it was so many yards, like it was 200 yards, like you said. It was just, and it made it way closer than it needed to be. I don't know.
Yeah, and Miami just didn't really hold the ball in the fourth quarter. To your point, they did just enough, and it feels. I mean, the ball bounces funny once, and then all of a sudden, Florida State ties the game. So I agree. Yeah. I don't like this. I wish they'd push a bit harder at least for the first, I don't know, for the first half of the fourth quarter, whatever it is. It's I don't know. But then there's the other argument. It's well, we can afford to be this conservative, and maybe we could have made a mistake if we pushed harder. So it's
yeah, no, I get that, but it's I don't know. It's as a fan,
I don't like it.
As a fan, it's horrible to watch.
Yeah, and then the question is, do we think that's the better way for Cristobal to go about it? Because we've seen him make some ridiculously stupid play calls at the end of games. So maybe the Miami fans are happy that he just went super conservative. They're like, no, don't do anything wrong. Just sit in a shell. Just run the ball. Don't do anything. Don't be aggressive. Don't do anything different and off script. And it worked. So either way, they got past what is likely the last of the really tough teams on the schedule. I don't know. It's like you said, some SMU and Louisville aren't bad teams. They're playing well. So. But they're going to be favored in every game, and I think they have the talent advantage in every game here, like moving forward.
Yep. No, the big challenge is going to be for Cristobal and them is getting them fired up to show up to every game, which is not always easy. Look at the Penn State UCLA game. Go listen to that review if you haven't listened to that one yet. And so that's going to be one of their key, coaching things now, right, is making sure they don't take the foot off their gas and stay focused, and because they've got everything's in front of them.
Yeah, and so clean game from turnovers for Miami. FSU had 3, so that's a huge deal. But then on the penalties, Miami had 13 for 114 yards.
They've always had a lot of penalties. It's crazy.
At some point, they got to get that cleaned up. It's amazing. It's amazing they can get that far ahead on a team with that many penalties. Yeah. Like going into the fourth quarter with such a cushion. But still losing the penalty battle, if you want to call it that, because FSU only had 5 for 45. So that's one thing they still got to get cleaned up. But it obviously didn't hurt them in this game. That's for sure. All right. Well, what do we? The arrows look up. The ACC is there for the taking for the Hurricanes at this point. It looks like this is going to come down to them. Georgia Tech and Virginia. It's like
so all of a sudden,
it's kind of what it's unfolding like.
Yeah. Miami at the beginning of the season, if you said like, "Oh, we don't have Virginia on the schedule," then it wouldn't have been. But they don't, so all of a sudden,
it's kind of nice now.
Yeah,
because Virginia's tough as nails.
All of a sudden, that's a good thing. Yeah.
And what can we say about Florida State? They're 0-2 in conference, and now they're on the outside looking in to even make the ACC championship game, which is starting to seem unlikely at this point.
Yeah. No, and it's frustrating because if you're a Florida State fan, like they have a good team, and they beat Alabama and they lost, and it was a crazy like Virginia game, you know what I mean? So they're 0-2. They're 0-2 in conference now, and it's clear that they really have to stick to their game plan, so. But hopefully they can play better. They still got a lot of games in front of them, but 0-2 in conference is going to be tough to overcome.
Yeah, they've got Clemson, who I guess is not terrible, but they kick the crap out of UNC, but sort of everybody does.
Not a lot of ranked ACC teams right now. No,
as in none left on Florida State's schedule, but I guess Pitt can give people some trouble, and maybe NC State. And then that game against the Gators now, 2 weeks ago, I thought that was going to be a blowout. Now I don't know what to think. This weekend's just thrown everything into question. Just literally everything.
It really has.
But, Florida State started out so promising, and now it looks like it's a long shot to either make the ACC championship game or the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's just, yep. All right. Well, did you get everything on your list?
Yep.
All right. Well, that's all I got on my list. So if you're still with us, we appreciate you being here. We hope we earned your like and subscribe for this episode, and come back to the channel. We're gonna be talking about football every week. All right. So for Jeff Dover, I'm John Barbin, and that's your Saturday versus Sunday podcast.